Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Daniel here with hubby, and we are in Arizona. Not all treasure is buried. Some of it's hiding right under our noses. At Golden Finds, we chase the forgotten, the vintage, the one-of-a-kinds, and bring them back to life. Every piece has a past. Here, it gets a second chance. Welcome to Golden Finds, where every find tells a story. So yes, you heard that right. We are taking our thrifting across other states. We are in Arizona. You all know that you usually see videos of me thrifting in Southern California, but we are on a little birthday weekend trip. It's hubby's birthday on the 28th of May, so we are out here. And of course, we have to do some thrifting. So let's go ahead and explore what we find across Arizona. And we're leading into the Phoenix area, but I'll try my best to get the addresses to these locations and give you guys the information as I always do. And yeah, but I'm super excited. It's always fun thrifting at other states and, you know, checking out what they have. It's super fun. And if you love thrifting, then this is the channel for you, which I welcome you all to hit that like button and subscribe, which is absolutely free. And I think I'm going to be releasing these videos in a series, maybe, depending on how many, you know, videos that I do, that I group together to create these videos. Like, it might be like a series, maybe like 3 videos of us thrifting totally in Arizona. I just don't know how many we're gonna hit up. We're here for a couple of days during the Memorial Day weekend, so I'm super excited. So without further ado, let's go ahead and see what we come across the Goodwills in Arizona. Welcome everybody to this special edition of Golden Finds, where we are heading out to the state of Arizona. I am so excited to bring you all along, and I want you to know that this may be a 2 or 3 part series, so make sure to stay tuned for the rest of the videos. There were so many stores, and it felt like so little time during our stay in Arizona, and we just ventured into so many Goodwills. So make sure to sit back, relax, and enjoy our thrifting trip through various stores in the Arizona area. I was very excited to see that they also have Christmas year-round here in Arizona, so that absolutely made my heart so happy. And I'm going to go ahead and just let you guys know my opinion about the pricing out in Arizona. So I feel that it's very, very close, similar to what the Goodwills in California are charging for certain items. Now, I will say that some of the items were definitely very, very high priced, and I don't feel that I see that in California with certain things. Now, there were some things that they were definitely way better priced here in Arizona versus California, but there were just a lot more collectibles, and a lot of the paintings and picture frames and just artwork in Arizona was definitely priced way higher than what I feel I could find in California. And that's just something, you know, it's different across various Goodwills around the United States. I would love to hear in the comments down below if you have had the chance to thrift in other states outside of your very own state of where you live. Let me know where you have gone and if you have seen a huge price difference. Now, these were the Great Muppet Caper glass cups. They were $5.49 each, so they are a little bit expensive. These are vintage McDonald's glassware cups, very collectible, but at $5.49 each, it definitely would be very pricey if you wanted to snatch up the entire collection. As far as inventory goes in Arizona, I was super happy and excited to see that a lot of their stores were fully stocked, just like they are back home in California. That is absolutely something that I really enjoy about Arizona, because you could last hours in a given store. And the one thing that differs from California is that there's literally almost a Goodwill within like a short distance from each other. There's like one store where there's another one is like 5 minutes away or 10 minutes away. There's seriously so many locations here in Arizona, and it just filled my happy thrift heart because there was just so many Goodwills and so little time. So we were jumping back and forth, traveling all through central Arizona. We traveled to various locations. I do have the addresses to the locations that we visited at the very top corner for any of you who would like to venture into these Goodwills in Arizona, or if you're ever out in Arizona or live in Arizona, then you can definitely check these stores out if you have not already. Saw this Herschel's travel bag. $5.49. You guys, this one was completely brand new. It looks like it was never used. And at $5.49, that is definitely a great steal. Herschel, anything Herschel is very, very expensive. One thing that I truly love about Arizona Goodwills that they do not do in California are coupons. Yes, you heard that right. They have a coupon that they send out every month, and I believe it's either 20% or 25% off, and you have to spend, I think it was $10 or more, and they will give you a discount on your items. And they send that out, monthly. You can sign up for their newsletter and you'll get it right in your inbox and every month. And that is just something so amazing. In California, we do have the color tag system. A color of the week will be 50% off of that item, but that's really basically it. And they also have senior discounts, but that's basically the gist of it. There's really nothing else that they do. I was actually really upset because I really, really wanted this vinyl record, but it wasn't in there. Always make sure to check if you're purchasing vinyl records. You want to make sure that you have the right record inside, or if there even is one in there. But going back to the system in California, so we only have the color system for the 50% off. They also have that here in Arizona, and some locations even had 2 colors. Yes, so I will definitely give credit to Arizona for having a better sale system, because again, they do that coupon, and I believe they would also they give you like more discounts. I think even if you're like in the medical field or if you're a teacher, and then they also do the senior discount as well, but I don't recall what days it was on. And their system out here is just so much better, and I wish Goodwill in California would do the same. How fun is this slot machine? This is definitely giving old vibes, classic Las Vegas. The slot machines, with the machines that you would put in the coins and then a bunch of coins would come out if you won. That's good old Vegas. I remember going in the 90s and early 2000s with my parents. Of course, we would go to Circus because that was the only child-friendly casino in Las Vegas. And I remember my dad always playing with the slot machines, and he would always get the plastic cups with all the coins that he would win. Now, I ran into this whole collection of vintage clowns. So someone definitely had a love for clowns. There were so many different figures. This one was definitely a vintage piece. I was so amazed at this entire collection here. Again, there was like several of them. There were ceramic pieces. There were just amazing pieces that that I'm pretty sure would sell very well, and they weren't priced bad at all. Now, today's comment of the day is going to go out to Lily Casillas 1019. Lily, my friend, thank you so much. I truly appreciate all the love and support. And yes, vintage Disney is the best, and I love when I come across it when I thrift. I am a huge die-hard Disney fan, or what people say, a Disney adult. Yes, I am guilty. I absolutely love Disney, and I love finding thrifted treasures. As always, let me know in the comments down below, what are you seeing across the runway here at all of these aisles? What are you spotting that you would tell yourself, oh, I totally would pick that up. I would take that home. As always, let me know in the comments what caught your attention, and also make sure that you all wait until the very end to see if anything actually made it home with me. Now, this is the first day that we arrived in Arizona. Found these really cute Pier 1 gingerbread measuring spoons for $3.49. Now, unfortunately, they were heavily damaged. They were really scraped on a lot of sides. But let me know, as always, and make sure you stay until the very end of the thrift session. And again, going back to what I was mentioning, it was our very first day that we arrived in Arizona, so we were making our way towards our hotel. So we entered Arizona, we had a bite to eat, and then we headed into our very first location in Goodwill. And we just drove, we were hitting up a lot of stores towards our hotel until we could check in. Check-in time was 3 o'clock, so we had a lot of time in our hands to just enjoy the thrift sessions. It was, again, my husband's birthday weekend, so we were just celebrating and enjoying the time together and spending some time away from home. Now, Bella, of course, stayed with my parents, and they were babysitting her. They absolutely adore her. Now, one thing that I will say, the shelves in Arizona are fully stocked, items on top of other items. As you can see right here, I am looking at all of the wood section pieces, and it's an absolute mess. Now, back home, it's pretty much the same thing. Things are just piled upon each other, and sometimes it can get very overwhelming to the point where I just really don't even want to bother searching through all of this, because if I move one piece is going to collapse. Everything could basically fall down and cascade onto the floor. It just can get very overwhelming when you see huge piles like this. It makes it very difficult to browse through, and you might miss something amazing. But just try your best, maneuver through it all, and try to see what treasures might be buried in here. These were some very, very interesting pin back buttons. Let me tell you, some of them were very interesting. Definitely, a lot of them were for a chuckle. And they were just super fun. I don't know if they were vintage. Some of them were definitely giving me like 80s or 90s, but I'm not entirely sure. Then I saw these Reader's Digest books. There were 2 of them. They're definitely giving vintage vibes as well. This automatically caught my attention right away. Now, I couldn't tell if this was someone's DIY decor piece, but it was $9.49. I could not bring it to myself to purchase this just because I felt it was a little bit overpriced for what it was. Don't get me wrong, it was super cute. It's definitely giving like Bethany Low design. But I don't think it was. I didn't find anything on Google Lens. I tried searching for it, and I couldn't find anything. Nothing was coming up, so it might have been a DIY piece. I was happy to come across some 4th of July items. I am getting ready to decorate for the 4th of July. I know that I may be late to the game, but that is just how it is. I've been super busy trying to get the hutch prepped in time for the 4th of July decor, so make sure to stay tuned for that video. It will be a decorate with me session. Now, I found this box right here. It definitely was giving off vintage vibes. Someone was trying to probably sell it at a yard sale for $10 or possibly a boutique mall or an antique mall. And I'm not quite sure what it might have been utilized for, but it was definitely an oldie and very interesting. Now, I found several of these bagged in this section right here. As you can see, they were selling like these grab bags, and I was just so intrigued as to what these were. I just couldn't really make out what they were or what their intention was for, what were they used for. So I did a little bit of research and I'm going to give you a little bit of history. So these are Edison Blue Amberl records. So basically think of them as the very like early CDs or vinyl records, basically. So these were basically, things that were recorded with music. So these were introduced in 1912 and manufactured by Thomas A. Edison Incorporated. So these played for 4 minutes and 45 seconds. They were made of a blue tinted celluloid compound and designed to be played on Edison's Amberola phonographs. The Blue Amberol series replaced the previous 2-minute and 4-minute wax Amberol records, becoming the longest running and most extensive cylinder series for Edison. So this was very, very interesting. I had never heard of these before, but just how unique and amazing that they were all donated together here at the thrift store. And I don't know what you would use them for. I don't know if anybody still has a phonograph, but they were still very interesting to see. Now, this was something very interesting to see, and I will not comment on it because it's just absolutely creepy. It's giving Annabelle for some reason or something like that. More of the Annabelle movie, not the real, Annabelle doll that it's based off on. How fabulous was this stoneware piece? Now, $17.49, that's a little pricey for me, but it was still a very beautiful piece. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the design of it. But we are coming to the end of the walkthrough. Make sure to stay tuned and watch the video all the way through so you can see what made it home ultimately from our very first thrift session in Arizona. And make sure to stay tuned for more thrift videos that will be included and to conclude our Arizona thrift session. There are possibly 2 or 1 more video, and make sure to stay tuned for that. Hi. Say hi. Hi, say hi. Well, it looks like someone wanted to make a cameo, the star of the show. We have our little Bella here, our little golden girl. For those of you who may be new to the channel, this is Bella, and she is the star of my show right here. Hi. She is the logo for our golden finds and the inspiration behind the name of our channel. So I think she's here to inspect our very first haul from Arizona. So I do hope that you all enjoyed the walkthrough. As I mentioned in the video, I'm on the fence of whether releasing 2 or 3 more videos, part of the series. I need to see the length of them. If they're super long, then I'll break them up into 2 additional videos. So it'll be like a 3-part series. But yeah, let's go ahead and see what actually made it home with me. Let me know in the comments down below if there's something that you spotted that you feel you would have picked up for yourself. Now, there are actually 2 pieces that were not in the walkthrough. You want my attention, don't you? I am so sorry. I'll be super fast. Mwah. There are a few items that I actually have in the haul that were not featured in the thrifting session, and that is because we also ventured into a few savers out there. For those of you who do not know, Savers is also a chain thrift store just like Goodwill. But I never hardly ever film in there. I don't know what it is. I feel like they're pricier than Goodwill. But I mean, Goodwill is pretty much up there almost with Savers as well. So there's really no much of a difference anymore, I feel. But I don't know. I don't know what it is about Savers. I just feel like there's more Goodwill, so there's more to show. So I have 2 pieces that I picked up. We have our thrift inspector sniffing out the rest. So I found this right here. It was only $5.99 for this. So right when I saw this wooden spool, I knew I had to bring it home. I really don't have any idea how I'm going to style it, but I know it's going to go into the hutch. And it was $5.99, and it's definitely giving off the vintage vibe. I love the metal on it, and you know, it's just one of those pieces that's so interesting and unique. Again, not quite sure where I will put it. It'll probably end up going at the very top where the rest of those items are, on the top of the hutch, which I cannot wait for you guys to see the entire hutch. I know that I already unveiled the new color. If you follow me either on Instagram or here on YouTube, I posted it on my community page, and a lot of you loved it. So thank you so much, you guys. It really meant a lot. The other thing that I picked up from Savers was this lettuce plate. Now this plate right here kicked off a whole new collection that I'm trying to, search for when thrifting, whether that was in Arizona or in California here back home. I knew right when I found this at Savers, it had to come home. Again, I don't really film in Savers a lot, but we did stop at a few Savers stores in Arizona, and this was only $3.99. I really love the detail, and it actually has all of this monogrammed. It was a Christmas gift. It's a Holland mold. So that's first of all what this is. Molds were created back then, and they would create all of these pieces that were all, the same, and then you would purchase them. Usually they were in a white finish. It was like a white ceramic, and you would be able to buy them and paint them and style them your own way, color them how you wanted, do whatever you wanted to them. And then this is signed by, they actually, I think, engraved it into the stone before it probably turned hard or something. So it says, "Merry Christmas, Stanley, Paula, and Amy, 1978. So this is from 1978, the 70s. And it is in such great condition. No chips, no crazing, which I'm actually surprised about that. The other thing that I picked up, the other 2 items were from Goodwill. And I picked up the Where the Wild Things Are. This is just a classic storybook. I am growing our children's or our future children's library. For those of you who are new to my channel, if you did not know this, I am picking up on the go. I love thrifting for books, so when I see books that I grew up with, I just pick them up because they are so much less expensive at the thrift store. People donate so many books. You don't have to go the route of buying them all new. Check your thrift store first. You're going to be surprised at how many books they got. This was only $1.29, and it is a special one. It's celebrating the 40th anniversary of this book. And again, it's just a classic story. You know, we all grew up with it if you read this, and it's just classic. I love the pictures on here. It's super adorable, and I cannot wait to add it to the rest of my book collection. And the only other thing that I also picked up were the trio of stars. I already took them out. So it came with 3. It came with this one right here. And then it came with this white one. And then the bigger one, which is the red star. So these 3 were $5.49, which I think were a really great deal, considering that this big one was $19.99, the white one was $7.99, and the other one was $12.99. And for $5.49 for all 3, that's definitely a great deal. They're definitely aged. They were definitely loved, but that's fine. It gives it that rustic charm that I love. And they were originally from Ashland. So that's the brand that Michael's craft store carries. But that is the end of the haul, you guys. Thank you so much, as always, for tuning in to another thrift session. I really hope that you enjoyed this thrift session in Arizona. Make sure to stay tuned. I promise you there's a lot more exciting finds coming your way in the next part 2 and 3, which will be released next week. As always, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. Was there anything that spoke out to you in the walkthrough? And if you liked any of the items from my haul. And as always, make sure that you are out there seeking your very own treasures. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you also have the notification bell, so that way you guys are notified when I drop a new video weekly. And make sure that you are hitting the like button before you exit today's video. But before I let you go, I hope that you are out there seeking your very own golden finds, but make sure to come back and check us out here on Golden Finds to see what other thrifting adventures we come across. But make sure that you're out there seeking your very own golden finds and thrift the unexpected. I will see you on our next video. Bye, everyone.